The original Candyman, written, directed by Bernard Rose, based on a story by Clive Barker, was is one of my favorites. It's a very influential movie for me, mainly because I believe it came out in 1992, so I would have been like 13, and I was a horror fan, and we didn't have a black Freddy. We didn't have a black Jason. We identified with Freddy and Jason, but when Candyman came along, it felt very daring, and it felt very cathartic, um, and it was terrifying. So this was one of the movies that told me we can that black people can be in horror, even though there are many examples of black people in horror movies. This was one for me that felt particularly badass. The original film, Helen, is a bit of the played expertly by Virginia Madsen, by the way. Helen Lyle is a bit of a fish out of water, to say the least, in the Cabrini Green area, and a lot is focused on her fear and therefore the audience's fear of this space, of this black space. Well, that Cabrini Green has been torn down and is fairly gentrified now. And the story that felt resonated to me now is the story of my fear of the white space, and and to be able to explore the quote unquote mirror image or the flip of the first one, um, to me was a point that made the project worthy in itself. To see the the full realization of that, the conversation that this movie is. Candyman is an eternal figure, and what we did with this version of it and this telling of it was we focused on the connection. We tried to bring out the connection with the fact that this is an epidemic of violence on black bodies in this country, and Candyman can't be can't just be singular. He's a concept. He's a story. He's a boogeyman, and that means he applies across the boundaries of time. He's eternal. In the beginning of the film, Anthony he's an artist who's maybe had a little bit of success, but that success is in danger of fading. And much like the Candyman ghost, his ambition lies in becoming eternal in fame and success. Um, and that ends up being his tragic flaw. But he's also a character that has a deep trauma in his past that he's been trying to work out through his art. And so that's part of his journey is getting to his own truths, um, at the while he thinks he's pursuing fame. I had worked with Yaya on Us briefly, so I told all I did was tell Nia how much I wanted to work with him again. She went and met with him, and they hit it off famously. So I was happy to endorse, but the film was, she really saw him as the guy, and it was music to my ears. He is he has a bit of a chameleon ability, and at the same time he's a total he has a star quality and a singularness at the same time. But he's one of those guys that can hit notes that you're not expecting and nuanced notes that you didn't see coming. I think what Nia has really done is she's explored race on all the levels, from the uncomfortable to the downright devastating. Um, and she's kept a love story in there at the center, a tragic love story at the center, like the original as well.